can actually hear me. Hopefully at the back.
What did you say?
Thank you. So welcome to this special day. My lovely wife Jenny and I would like to thank you all for coming and to helping us to celebrate. I really am quite nervous. Oh yeah. And the tip to help imagine you're all naked is not helping, as these trousers are really tight already. I will use the C word only once, but I don't mean what we call our leader Boris. Arranging a wedding at any time can be stressful, so add COVID, ever-changing rules and regs, and sadly ill health. It has not been easy. So well done to Laura and any helpers for getting us here together today. I started to write this speech long before there was a date set, and I hoped I'd get the gig. I looked at YouTube for ideas, and I thought I could make a fancy video or a great song, but instead I chose to stand here shaking with a boring voice and maybe cry a little. You lucky people. I've practiced, believe it or not, so if Jenny doesn't laugh, it's because she's heard it 10 times before. If you don't laugh, it's because the jokes are rubbish. Relax, it will be over soon.
That's one page now.
That's one page.
Now I need to go.
It's been a long engagement, and we have called Ash our son-in-law for ages. He has mostly called me sausage fingers. So now it's official, and we welcome him and his family into ours. When two families come together, you never know how you will get along. We can honestly say it's been very easy from the start. So thank you to Lorraine and Neil for your lovely family. But joking aside, Ash, he's a very hard-working man. He's fun to be around. He's a dedicated dad, and we are very lucky to have him marry Laura. I will say just a little more about Ash, but I will leave the drunken horror stories to Jessie at the back there. So when Laura first introduced us to him, I looked him up and down, and I gave him the chat, telling him that violence and aggression would not be tolerated. He said, I said there would be consequences. I may have mentioned weapons. He said, please don't worry. For a big guy, he was quick on his toes, or failing that, he could take a good right hook. So he should be safe from Laura. He did take some good hits during a boxing phase, but then surprised me when he whinges like a girl when shot in the fingernail at his stag day. I got shot in the face. People thought it was ketchup. Jenny, this little thing here, on first meeting him, took a more direct approach. As Ash helped her get some things out of the boot of the car, she shut his head. And it just goes to show it's the little ones to watch out for. And Ash, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So, now on to our little Laura. All grown up, and now Mrs. Cotton. I stand here honoured to be her father figure. Looking back, it seemed to me at least that she just turned teenager overnight. It was mood swings, anger, and strops galore, and Laura was no better. But I will not use this occasion to settle scores, and should I cause any offence, I will simply say I'm only joking. Very much Laura's defence and catchphrase of the time. I guess she was a fairly typical teenager. I do remember a parents' evening where I was accosted by an angry teacher insisting that we made an appointment to meet him. He was obviously not a fan and fed up with her disruptions and bad behaviour. She sat, listened, embarrassed, and I promised him there would be no further problems. But on leaving, because of how he spoke to me, I did have to point out to him, at least it was only colouring in lessons. Now looking around now, those colouring lessons paid off and Laura's worked really hard. From the invitations to the decorations, it's all great. Well done. I do have a note from him. It was nicely written out in crayon. Dear Laura, well done. I would have loved to have popped in and surprised you on your special day, but I'm running low on my prescription of Valium, so I can't risk any excitement. Best wishes, Mr. Ainsworth, art teacher Ainsworth. The return address on that one is Marchwood Priory.
How did it go, Stuart?
We should steal his lunch. Steal his lunch.
Everyone picked on him, didn't they? I used to have to walk to school with him. He'd be in front of me every time. Do you remember everyone used to fill up the art, like massive sinks until they'd overflow, and whenever he left the room, paints in it?
Okay, so to be honest, we had no great dramas. We were very lucky. Other things stand out in our minds. Whether it was the look on Laura's face when she got her first mobile phone, or the look on Louise's face when Laura unwrapped a small pool table and smashed the paper over her head. It was all good fun. Days out at theme parks, Laura could always tell me the best place to sit on the ride. I got soaked. Insist I went on a spinning ride. I got sick, but it was always in good fun. We might just be near a beach, and Laura would see the sun come out, and she was straight in the sea with her clothes on, which I'm sure Amy can remember.
That was clothes off.
At least she took her phone out of her pocket, not like Louise. Time flies. It was driving lessons, and that's when you become useful. Brave or stupid, I said I could teach her. I had a cheap little Peugeot with a passenger door shut with a bungee for a quick escape, and I took her out. Now, whether it was bothering horses across the forest, I'm sure some of you have done that, or scaring cyclists on roundabouts, we got on with it and did have a laugh. She took to it well, but I used to have a thick head of hair and no wrinkles. Once she passed her test, she got a lovely little car sorted, and she was off. We never saw her again. Whether the first night driving miles away, across motorways, and leaving us worried sick. We would hear the occasional tale of the post that jumped out in front of her, or the ambulance that was parked and suddenly moved, and her lovely little car would gather dents and scratches, but she was free and she was happy. Luckily, when it was knackered, she sold it to Ash. Which brings me to Tesco's. I had a call from them saying she could come in that afternoon and have an interview. She was over town. I called her to say she could go in. She said she wasn't really sure she had the time. I told her, get home, get changed, and get your ass in there. Which amazingly she did.
And made all these friends.
She got the job, she did well there, and she made some great and long-lasting friendships here today. And of course at Tesco's, she met Ash. So I'm responsible for all of this. If not, I'm sure fate would have played its part. Well, before long, Ash was actually moving into our house. And I thought, hang on, this is going backwards. But he really was no trouble. And it was nice for me to have someone normal to talk to. But it wasn't long before they were moving on, and we thought, great! But then we found ourselves surprised at just how much we missed Ash. He was not fussy, he was always happy, and he paid good housekeeping. Off they went to Harrier Green, and I thought, oh God, it's going to be all humping, banging and screwing. But luckily, it was a rental, so there was no work for me. They settled in, and then Laura announces that she's pregnant. That me, Stewie from the block, would be a granddad. This bundle of joy, Charlie. Wherever he is, Charlie. Instantly bonded to our hearts, but my hard man image and my emotional state ruined forever. Time passed very quickly, and they were off to the house at Deep Dean. Plenty of work for me there. Laura does it again. Ash plays a small part in this. Very small. Really insignificant. And says that Amelia.
What we do with it.
Very true. And says that Amelia is on her way. And like Charlie, for us, it's instant love. We are very proud of Laura as a mum, as Ash as a dad, and as them as a family unit. Very proud. They have made a lovely home, and we are sure that in another 20 years or so, it will be finished. For the older members of the audience, it's like the Forth Bridge. Apparently out of speech you have to give some advice, so I found some quotes online. One of them is that you have to work at marriage. Marrying someone is easy. Staying married after going to IKEA on a Saturday with an empty stomach is not. So bear that in mind.
I don't get that.
He's not been to IKEA.
I've been to IKEA, the meatballs are amazing.
To be fair, their meatballs are amazing.
aren't
They
they?
are amazing. But we're not talking meatballs. That may well be later. Another one is, I love being married because it's so great to find that one special person that you really want to annoy for the rest of your life. So you can do that. And another one, which apparently was Dr. Zeus. We are all a little weird, and life is a little weird, and when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join them and fall into mutually satisfying weirdness, and we call it love. That's all you need. Somebody once wrote, all you need is love. They made a lot of money out of it. So in the last year or so, they have actually given us another grandchild. Covered in hair, slightly mental, with a terrible morning breath. He obviously takes after me. And I do have a message translated from him, obviously. Dear Mummy and Daddy, congrats on your big day and all that. I really would have loved to have been there to see it and maybe chew on your dress. But I do understand. Hope you're having lots of fun, lots of love, Bloom. P.S. I am going to poo on your rug when I get home. That went through a lot quicker than I thought, actually. So I just had 2 toasts.
I mean, I've got arm, mate.
So please all stand if you can. Raise your glasses. Now the first toast, for all those that really should be here but are sadly missed, please can we toast absent friends? Absent friends. And stay standing, keep your glasses charged, and now please with a nice clear, really obvious toast, the bride and groom. The bride and groom! Thanks, Fudge, for that.